It's a historic part of town you may not want to think about. We're at the oldest cemetery in Las Vegas. For many of the pioneers that shaped this town's history, this is their final resting place. If you're a Las Vegas local, you're probably very familiar with names like Stewart, Harmon, Lewis, Clark, and even Henderson. These, along with many others, are namesakes for some of our streets, schools, and parks. A lot of them are buried here at Woodlawn Cemetery. Established in 1914 at 10 acres of land, it is now 40 acres and sits on both the National and Las Vegas Register of Historic Places. To learn more about the fathers and mothers of Las Vegas history, we met up with Amy Raymer of the Nevada Preservation Foundation. Predating the official founding of Las Vegas, the railroad bought up land in the area. Despite the harsh desert climate, there was groundwater, making it possible to set up town and power steam locomotives. Railroad officials laid out a city grid in the location that today is downtown Las Vegas, with the train depot being where the Plaza Hotel is now. They auctioned off land, and with that, Las Vegas became a town in 1905. Essentials of life in modern civilization took root, and in 1914, an essential of death in modern civilization was founded, a cemetery. Several local women, including Helen J. Stewart, a prominent figure in the community and often referred to as the First Lady of Las Vegas, convinced the railroad to donate 10 acres of land to the city for a cemetery. With that, Woodlawn was born.
Once Woodlawn opened, really everybody who is anybody wanted to be buried here at Woodlawn. And everybody who is everybody is buried here at Woodlawn.
One of those anybodies? J.T. McWilliams, the surveyor and civil engineer tasked with designing the cemetery. Although McWilliams may be more well known for plotting out the original Las Vegas town site in 1904, this site was on the other side of the railroad tracks and today is the historic west side. Due to the power of the railroad, McWilliams' town site did not become the town center like he had hoped. But McWilliams still made Las Vegas his home and continued being an influential figure in this town that he loved. Also buried in Woodlawn,
this is the final resting place of Walter Bracken.
Bracken was J.T. McWilliams' lifelong rival.
Even in death, they can't kind of get away from each other.
As with McWilliams, Bracken was in Las Vegas from the start, but on the side working with the railroad. He was brought to town by U.S. Senator William Clark to set up the town and businesses surrounding the railroad. Along with that, he was also Las Vegas's first postmaster. One of the plots in Woodlawn that may hold one of the most interesting stories is of two Civil War veterans who fought on opposing sides. William Keith and Joseph Graham moved to Las Vegas after the war.
After the Civil War, Las Vegas and Nevada were battle-born. We were brought in during the Civil War. It's interesting that they came out here really for kind of a fresh start, right? The West was this whole new area.
The pair met here and quickly became best friends, so much so that it was decided that they would be buried next to one another. It has been said that this is the only place west of the Mississippi where you'll find a Union and Confederate soldier purposefully buried next to one another. The monument next to their grave is dedicated to all Civil War veterans in southern Nevada.
Here we have the Bench of the Unknown Souls.
In the beginning of the cemetery's history, African Americans did not get to choose where they were buried. Management would decide for them.
So in 1939, the African American community rallied to have a particular section of Woodlawn that they would know, where their kin was being buried.
The bench is not only to honor the African Americans who passed away and are buried in this section, but also those unnamed bodies that were found outside of the cemetery's perimeter during road construction. In 1971, when Owens Avenue was widened, 8 bodies were found. Those unknown souls have since been reinterred into the cemetery and given proper burials.
So the next grave I want to show you is an interesting one, and it's kind of a mystery. So here we have the final resting place of Mike Landers.
This is the final resting place of Mike Landers. This is not a name you would have known before. So who is Mike Landers? He was a high scaler who died constructing the Hoover Dam. Dam workers passing away on the job was not unusual. In fact, at least 96 people died building the Hoover Dam. The majority of these people, though, were buried in Boulder City. Makes sense. So, why is Mike Landers buried 30 miles away? That question remains a mystery.
But just kind of a curious thing. Just don't know why he's here or who thought enough of him to go through all that.
It's a curious thing to have a fascination with a cemetery, but for Amy, it's a fascination with history, and this cemetery just happens to be a place that ties it all together.
And to be able to come out here to Woodlawn and just find so many of the people who have made this community, it's just the ultimate connection to Las Vegas.
Love Las Vegas history? Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of our content. And for more history on the beginnings of Las Vegas, check out these videos.